Alright, back with another album review. For the next 7 reviews, I'll be discussing the material from a band called Psychostick. Now, Psychostick are a comedy metal band that originated in Tempe, Arizona, and currently reside in Chicago. Today I'm going to talk about their debut album, We Couldn't Think of a Title, from 2003. I gotta say, this album title is absolutely brilliant and already sets the tone for what we're about to get into. Anyways, this is when the lineup of Psychostick consisted of lead singer Rob Kersey, guitarist Josh Key, drummer Alex Dontre, known as Alex Priest at the time, and bassist Mike Kochian. Rob was the one who did the artwork for the album cover. Now, the vocals were recorded at Rob's crappy yet effective vocal booth. The guitars and bass were recorded at Joshi Apartment Studios, and the drums recorded by Scott Sayman at Head Pop Studios. The album was self-produced, along with Josh Key, despite the fact that Josh is part of the band. I think the reason why he was credited separately is because he mixed and engineered the album. It was originally self-released on May 16th, 2003. I believe it was around 2006 when Psychostick signed a deal with the independent record label Rock Ridge Music. The distributor for that label is Alternative Distribution Alliance, which is owned by Warner Music Group. Rock Ridge Music re-released the album on September 12th, 2006, with some bonus tracks. Well, we'll get back to that. This album was also released in the UK on November 5th, 2007. I don't know why it took so long for the UK to get this album. I know this album is primarily centered around comedy metal, but it also ventures into comedy rock and even nu metal. Anyways, let's talk about the songs. This album starts with Indecision. It's basically a skit where the guys from Psychostick are having a conversation on what they should call this album. Granted, Psychostick tend to have a lot of skits in between the songs, and these skits are pretty damn funny. This one is no exception. We're only getting started. After that is Scrotal Torment. The lyrics are about Rob pointing out that his balls itch. I mean, it isn't called Scrotal Torment for nothing. The next song is called 2-Ton Paperweight, which is the second single from this album. And the single was released in 2006. And the song is basically Rob singing about how his car is a piece of shit. And I can actually relate to this song as my computer is a piece of shit. It's followed up by Death Burger, which is actually a skit where some guy is trying to order a death burger through a drive-thru. I followed up with No Pun Intended, which holds the distinction of being the shortest song on this album at only 9 seconds long. Rob says something about diarrhea and says, "Oh shit," at the end. Now, the next song is called YLY. The song has more of the nu metal genre from the sound of it, but there are some traces of the band's signature comedy metal sound. After that is Plug. It's actually one of Psychostick's most popular songs, and they regularly play it during live shows / live streams. There's also a music video that was made, and I'll post a link to it in the description. It's followed up by Beer. This happens to be Psychostick's most well-known song. It was actually the first song of theirs I ever listened to. On top of that, they regularly play this song during live streams and live shows. Remember, they've actually played the song in H-flat, and that just made the song even funnier. It's also the first single from this album, and the single was released in 2006. The music video was also made for the song, and I'll post a link to it in the description. As an added bonus, it even features Brian Navarro, Crack Money Records, Biomech, Detox, Digital E, Half Gain, Makeshift, Head Creep, This, The Washingtons, and Wisdom of Eternity. Followed up with Prozac Milkshake, which is the second longest track on this album at 5 minutes and 54 seconds long. Next song is called Throwing Down. One thing I should mention is that it features Lindsey Hans. After that is I Hate Doing Laundry, which is where Rob lets everybody know that he hates doing laundry and dishes. Granted, there's a lot of people who can relate to this. We followed up with Return of the Death Burger. It's another skit, and it's a follow-up to the first Death Burger skit, which is the second shortest track at only 23 seconds long. Now, up next is Largelo Loquent Ditharam. I think that's how you say it. The song in particular is fully instrumental. Whenever Psychostick performed this song during a live stream, Rob always walks off the screen, but he always comes back when it's over. Next track is a skit called Lizard Sphere X, which is basically where the guys are watching a parody of Dragon Ball Z called Lizard Sphere X. The skit even features Big Daddy Crack and Double D. It's followed up by Orgasm Equals Love. It's another song that touches upon the nu metal genre, but it still retains Psychostick's signature comedy metal sound. It even features Becky Williams. It's actually a music video that was made for the live version that was made in 2012, and I'll post a link to that in the description. What's funny is that during one of Psychostick's live streams, they actually did a black metal version of the song, which just made it even funnier. After that is Good Morning. What's funny is that Psychostick essentially wakes somebody up with the sound of metal music. Hell, there have been a few times they start up some of their live stream concerts with this song. Up next is In a Band to Get Chicks. The song essentially satirizes the fact that some guys start up bands to try and meet women. It's followed up by Fake My Own Death and Go Platinum. The song is where the guys from Psychostick fake their deaths and try to, in order to try and get their album to go platinum. After the song is over, there's silence. And once the silence is over, there's a collection of outtakes. Of course, Psychostick always include a collection of outtakes on each of their albums. And we'll talk about this more when I review the rest of their albums. One more thing I should mention is that this is the longest track on the album at 15 minutes and 26 seconds long. Now we're going to talk about the bonus tracks that are included on the re-release version. The first bonus track is called ABC Death, which is basically where Rob recites the letters of the alphabet, except it's metal as fuck. Next song is called the Jägermeister Love Song, which is where Rob shows his love for Jägermeister. The song even features Vince Johansson. The next two bonus tracks are listed as B-sides, but are still included on the re-release version. The first B-side is Hokey Fucking Pokey, and you can probably already guess what this is a parody of. Now the next B-side is called Those Stupid Ifs. It's also the final song on this album. Now, as you can see, my copy has all those bonus tracks. And you can actually get a brand new copy of this album from Psychostick's web store. And I'll post a link to it in the description, in case you want a copy for yourself. Then again, you can also get it digitally through Psychostick's Bandcamp page, and I'll post a link to that in the description as well. Now, it's mostly independent artists who release their music on Bandcamp, and Psychostick is no exception. I mean, artists have to get their music out one way or another, and I have nothing against artists who use Bandcamp. I read this album peaked at number 41 on the US Billboard Top Heat Seekers, and number 48 on the US Billboard Top Independent Albums. I'm not sure exactly how many copies of this album were sold. If anyone knows, be sure to let me know in the comments. Read this album has a 4 out of 5 on AllMusic, a 4.6 out of 5 on Amazon, and a 4.4 out of 5 on Discogs. This told me that a lot of people really like this album. As for my opinion on it, I think this is not only a great album, but also pretty damn hilarious. I mean, Psychostick are a comedy metal band after all. The songs, the skits, and even the outtakes are actually pretty damn hilarious. And I strongly recommend this album. Before I finish the video, I'd like to give a shout out to the LegitGamer91 for being a close friend and for supporting my work. A link to his channel will be in the description, and I highly recommend subscribing to it. Now this is the part where I question you. Have you listened to We Couldn't Think of a Title? If so, what are your thoughts on it? What's your favorite song from it? Do you think Rock Ridge Music was the right record label for a Psychostick to sign on to? Let me know in the comments. If you like the video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to hit the notification bell to notify of future uploads. Thanks for watching. I'll be back soon with another review.